Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and apparently Blackstone Lab got raided by the FDA yesterday. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Alright, make my stance clear up front when it comes to free markets. I'm pretty much a fiscal conservative. I'm a big fan of only having the minimal amount of regulations in businesses. I think customers and independent reviewers and how people feel about the ethics of a company, its products, should generally determine how they're regulated, other than following basic laws, safety practices, treating their employees fairly and things. Not a fan of large amounts of regulation in big business, but in the case of the supplement industry, and in particular Blackstone Labs, in this case, they're putting substances in a product that are banned. This is illegal. They're breaking the law. You're not allowed to give substances to people that show a certain amount of harm according to the FDA standards and everything else. Now, this stuff has happened in the past. You guys all know bodybuilding.com has been hit worse than any other supplement company in the past. They were hit with $7 million in fines, which they paid by the FDA in the past, and rightfully so. You know, these companies, these supplement companies, think they can put whatever shit they want in their products. And they've always been found. Tons of these companies have been found to put tons of illegal drugs in their products so that they actually get some result. Because the truth is, supplements don't actually work. They don't actually work until they put drugs in their products. And it's a great business model for them because they put drugs or whatever in their products. People get results, and then word spreads that this product actually works, and then everyone buys it. But if it actually works, I can assure you it's a drug in there. It's probably not some supplement, or it's just placebo effect that people are getting. Now, in the case of bodybuilding.com got busted for stuff in the past, tons of these companies have been found to kind of put stuff in and then they rotate it out. They only run it sometimes for 30 or 60 days and they take the thing out because word of mouth is spread of how good the product is, and that's enough to keep sales elevated for a while. Now, Blackstone Labs had put a banned stimulant in one of their pre-workouts. Right, a banned stimulant in one of their pre-workouts. The FDA sent them a letter back in April about it, apparently, and this is what's coming to me through the industry. I've seen some people I know in the industry talking about this, got a little bit of info. Yeah, they were sent a letter back in April about their product, and I don't remember the name of this banned substance. It was in the first one, because it doesn't matter because it's not currently in there. I don't know that product, but they replaced it with something else because they needed a product that still gave people a stimulant effect pre-workout. So they put another banned substance in, which I am familiar with and have talked about in the past, and it's 1,3, whatever, DMMA, whatever it's called. I believe that's it. I know it's 1,3-D something. But this product is banned also. This substance is banned by the FDA. So since they did that, and they just publicly announced it, I mean, these companies sometimes have no shame. They just advertise, well, this is what we have in there, even if it's illegal. Well, the FDA hit them. I mean, that's how stupid supplement companies are. I mean, they treat other people like they're stupid. They treat their customers like they're stupid. But I've noticed deep down, I think a lot of these supplement company owners and executives actually are just stupid-ass meatheads. They're stupid-ass meatheads. These people were stupid enough to just say, well, we've got a banned illegal substance in here. Let's just advertise it. I've seen it come through my Facebook feed that they have this product in there and an ad coming through my Facebook. And I knew that's illegal, and I've kind of wondered, how are they getting away with it? Well, they're getting away with it because, well, they didn't get away with it. The FDA just took a couple months to respond and then finally said, okay, we're going to go hit you. So Blackstone Lab could very well find itself out of business. But ultimately, all these companies are just dumbass meatheads when you think about it. I mean, look, Mark Lobliner runs a supplement company. And when you really think about it, is Mark really that smart when it comes to any of this science? And that's the other thing. All these dumbass meatheads run these supplement companies using all this pseudoscience and just flinging some drugs in there. And people actually believe these guys know what they're talking about, that they're knowledgeable enough to actually produce a substance that works. They're not. They just throw drugs in them. But that being said, what did this say for Blackstone Labs? Well, you guys saw my other criticism of their last ad of basically them promoting drug culture and party drugs. So it's no surprise that these people are stupid enough, because they're probably all a bunch of meatheads who are fucked up all the time. I mean, when they're promoting stuff like that other product, what did I call it? I titled it Fear and Loathing and Spearmint Rhino. Again, promoting a total recreational drug party scene. These guys are probably fucking high all the time. You guys remember Jerry Ward talked about that bodybuilders love to get fucked up. That's the reason he got into narcotics and everything. So maybe they're just too stupid and too fucked up all the time to actually run a proper business model, and so they just announce, "Hey, we've got this illegal drug in our pre-workout." They sell it, the FDA hits them. Now, I don't know how bad this is going to be, but it could be the end of their business. And you know what I say? Good riddance. I hope it is. Fuck these people. Fuck these con artist supplement companies who just put whatever dangerous shit they want in their products while telling people that it works, that it's going to affect their gains, that it's going to help them. And ultimately, this stuff doesn't unless it's drugs. And here's the thing. You got to remember, guys, people are like, "Oh, but well, if there are drugs in there, I'll take them because they'll work." Well, let me ask you guys a very simple question. If you did decide you wanted to use a bunch of illegal drugs to help you get gains, wouldn't you rather pay what those companies pay for them? You do know these companies don't really have access to this stuff better than anyone else. Anyone can go through the internet and they can find the same substances these guys buy wholesale and put in these products. You can probably get them the same price they do. It's not like these companies aren't marking these things up enormously. So yeah, you might be paying $50 for a tub with $3 worth of a drug in it. And I know that's going to blow a lot of people's minds, but that's the reality of it. You guys really think these things are that expensive in raw powder form? They're really not. A lot of times they're research chemicals that can be legally gotten. Other times they're stuff that people can get. This stuff isn't that expensive that they're putting in these products when they're buying the powders and stuff wholesale. They're pennies. Sometimes these guys are putting $3 worth of an illegal drug into a $50 product. So no, you're not getting a good deal getting some illegal drug. Plus, because it's not always properly labeled, you don't even know what you're getting. But in the case of this, they throw this illegal stimulant in there. And here's the thing. I'm not big on pre-workouts, and I've said that many, many times. I've never seen any evidence whatsoever that pre-workouts lead to long-term muscle growth or long-term gains. What I do see that they do is they lead to people becoming addicted to them. I see that oftentimes people get a dependency on their pre-workouts, and then when they come off their pre-workouts, they can't make any gains because they're so used to needing these stimulants and stuff before they train. They get addicted to them in that sense of once they no longer have them, they struggle to train on them. And as far as them actually being effective, again, people need to understand, like I've talked about before, there are disadvantages to psyching yourself out too much. All right. Matt Perryman wrote in his Squat Every Day book, he put a lot of good material on this, and he's written a lot of stuff on this of how to squat every day to get an enormously strong squat using Bulgarian light style trainings. Of keeping your level of psychological arousal lower lets you train more frequently. All right, it lets you train more frequently. Do you think stimulants help keep your level of psychological arousal lower? No. They're going to lead to more fatigue in your peripheral nervous system. So you might lift a little more weight. But at the expense of recovery. That doesn't ensure that you're going to gain muscle mass, all right? Just because you lift a little more weight, but then you take longer to recover, isn't necessarily ideal. That might actually cost you a little bit of gains over the months. Furthermore, people get addicted to these things, and what ends up happening, once you're addicted and you need them to train, they're not necessarily improving your performance anymore in the gym. All right, now they just become a necessary tool for you to train at your normal level eventually. And that's the problem with a lot of these products. They come at a hefty price tag sometimes. And hefty is a relative term, I understand that. But people need to understand when I say that, a very, very big chunk of the people who use a lot of these supplements are young men who don't always have the best financial means. And for them, spending $50 or $100 a month on supplements could actually negatively impact their diet budget. It could impact other aspects of their life that are more important for their gains and their progress than these silly ass supplements are. So that can be a problem. Furthermore, when they're products that don't actually necessarily help you, these are people being conned out of their money. And some of these pre-workouts are a perfect example. There's no evidence that taking pre-workouts leads to long-term muscle gain of any type. And it's very likely that due to, again, the impact on recovery and training frequency, that it could have a slight negative effect. Furthermore, they're addictive. People will get to a point to where they need them to train normally, in which case you're now having to pay money for a product that you need now just to maintain your normal training and your normal progress. All right, that is not the sort of product people need to be selling in any sort of ethical business model. And I'm not telling anyone, oh, we need the government to come in and shut down every pre-workout, because I'm not saying that at all. I'm not a big believer in that. What I am saying is that by people understanding that these products are ridiculous, that they're probably not even helping their progress, and they're probably addictive, and they're a waste of money, that you guys need to stop buying them. That's the consumer's ability to shut this stuff down. When the consumers quit buying this shit, you don't need government to come in and do anything. I mean, that's the beauty of a capitalist system. But unfortunately, a lot of young, naive men get caught up in this. But in this case, this is these people producing a pre-workout with a completely illegal banned substance and just flaunting it in the face of government. Just flaunting it out there like you aren't going to do anything. But people need to understand, with a lot of this stuff that they do online and the way that this whole industry and everyone works in these things, they do need to understand our federal government's being restructured right now in the United States. There are going to be changes, and that's going to mean laws are going to be enforced at a different rate. Different types of laws might be enforced actually a little more than they have been in the past. Something people need to keep in mind with their online activity. Just in general, not just the supplement companies, but everyone out there. Keep that in mind, guys. Just because you got away with something for 5 or 6 years doesn't mean that this coming year or next year you're going to continue to get away with it. And I think Blackstone Labs is getting a little bit of taste of that. And I think it's good that people are cracking down a little bit more on the supplement industry, because it is pretty shady, it is deceitful, and it does sell a lot of both garbage and dangerous products. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.